Hey y'all, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is Looking for the Middle,
the Christian Girl's Guide to Modern Dating.
We are just two single girls trying to help you navigate dating well as Christian women. And we are in the midst of our Men Tell All series, part 2. Jinx. We have Gabe with us today. Say hi, Gabe.
Hello, ladies.
Gabe is... We've been laughing already for like 30 minutes before we started recording, so this is going to be fun. Just a quick reminder, though, if you are listening on your normal podcasting app, aka not through Patreon, you are hearing the cut down, edited, abbreviated version.
It's probably like what?
45 minutes?
65%?
Oh, you were going a different route.
Numbers.
Yes. Yeah. So we, obviously, these are longer interviews, so we have to cut it down for the normal episode. But if you want to hear the full-length interview, you can go to our website, lookingforthemiddle.com, click on the resources tab, and you can join us on Patreon, where you can then get the full cut of this episode for, what, $2 a month?
Yep.
It's super
and
cheap.
You
That's
can
half
hear
a
it
coffee.
Early.
Yes, you can hear it early, too, which is also a perk.
Yes.
So, you should go do that. Okay.
But
let's start with the question of the day.
yes.
Which is my turn, but Bethany came up with it, so.
And I realized after I did it, I don't even know what my answer is going to be. So
good.
Run it around the table.
Okay, so the question is, what is something you could give a 20-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Yes.
Does anybody know their answer?
Apparently we need preparation on deciding on the topic.
The first thing that popped into my mind was how to buy cute clothes at a not super expensive rate.
Oh, you could totally talk about that
So,
in 20 minutes.
finding, like nice looking, great outfits, things you can wear multiple different ways,
Yeah.
and not break the bank.
That's a good one.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
Okay, perfect. Mine would probably be something crafty.
Oh yeah, of
How
course.
to...
How to plan a party.
Oh, yeah, that I could do that easy.
Mhm.
That's a good one. How to plan a party. A good themed event.
Yeah. If you need party planning advice, Bethany's your girl. Gabriel.
Gabe.
Well, I've actually thought about this before because
Really?
yeah. So I'm kind of thinking about doing Toastmasters because I'm not a great public speaker, and
You're not?
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
totally. That surprises me.
In certain situations, like if I practice a lot, then I
Uh-huh.
can be okay. But like I just had a mediocre speech not too long ago, but I was like, well, I know I've been to Toastmasters before, like when my buddies have done it,
Yeah.
and I know they pick topics sometimes. I was like, if I did it, what would I present on? And so I've kind of thought about this question before, and one of them, maybe not 20 minutes, but 10 minutes for sure, is, so I'm kind of into personal finance.
Okay.
It's like I guess you could say a passion. And one of the aspects of that is what they call credit card churning. So this is basically taking advantage of the rewards points that credit cards and how to maximize that. And I'm kind of big into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could totally see you talking about
We need
that.
to have a side conversation about
Maybe
this.
maybe a side podcast.
Yeah, maybe we could hear this 10-minute presentation another day.
Yes.
Because it sounds fun.
Because that would be... I'm all about my credit card rewards. And
all of your credit card rewards go to Old Navy.
Yes, they do.
I'm going to give you this tip.
Okay.
I just figured
yes.
I've never read this on anyone. I figured it out myself.
Ooh.
Oh.
This is an original.
Delta Airlines will give you 2,500 miles if your bag is over 20 minutes late.
No
Like,
way.
When you land,
Really?
that starts the
Start the
timer,
clock.
20 minutes. If your bag's not on the carousel within 20 minutes, you go to this, you just Google Delta late bag claim. You fill out your name, your flight,
You don't even have to talk to a person.
cities, your confirmation number, and then it pops up. I flew to Utah. I got more points from the baggage than I did from the flight, which is kind of amazing. I got 5,000 because I got there and on the way back. So I hate checking bags.
Yeah.
But now, all of a sudden, I'm just bringing a bag
Yeah.
just to check because
then
that's
you-
5,000 miles.
Oh my god. Empty bags.
Yeah.
I just joined the frequent flyer miles, whatever, Sky Miles thing.
Oh, when
I'm
you got your ticket?
Yeah, when I got
Okay.
I'm like, just for the heck of it. If I fly for the next 20 years, I'll get a trip
free
eventually.
trip to somewhere.
Okay.
I think we're getting a little... That was a
Far afield.
far-reaching
Yes.
question
Quite
there.
an answer.
Okay.
So let's
Kick us off.
jump in. So, Gabe, we already know your name, but if you want to say your name, your age, can you tell us what you do for a living? We didn't.
High level.
Just high level.
So I sell technical systems to the military.
Okay. He's our smart friend, if you haven't already figured that out. But yeah, your name, your age, and then your current relationship status.
Gabe,
Yes.
obviously, 31,
Okay.
and I am single and ready to jingle.
Oh my gosh.
Got a little holiday twist on that.
Holiday cheer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I have never heard anyone say
I
that.
haven't either. I thought I knew where he was going with that.
No,
And
you
nope.
never do. I feel like that will be the theme of this interview. We'll think we know where he's going. Okay, so then jumping into the dating questions, since you're single and ready to jingle, as you say, what are you looking for in a girl? So physical traits, personality traits, and character qualities. Like, what are your...
Well, let's start with physical traits, because this was kind of an interesting story here, because I didn't know that I had a type until one of my friends pointed it out, and he was like, dude, every girl that you think is like a 10 fits this characteristic, and it is the petite brunette.
Okay.
I think I'm probably in a minority here, because most guys, tall blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Which is funny, because
Not
I could
good.
have told you that was your type.
Yeah.
If you had
You've
asked.
had
Well,
very similar looking girlfriends
Yeah.
since I've known you.
I think once I realized my type, then it was like,
Oh.
so here's what it is. It's kind of a behavioral economics thing, right? Because it's, why would I spend time going after what everyone else values higher when I can, you know what I mean?
The pool is larger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Totally makes sense.
Okay. So then, as far as like personality and character goes, like what are your go-tos for that?
So I really value some combination of intelligence, ambition, and I also like an outside-the-box thinker.
Okay.
I'm pretty frugal,
Okay.
so I'd like somebody that's frugal as well.
Okay.
And also a playful personality.
I feel like that fits you
Yeah.
very well.
I'm kind of a joker, so if you can't joke back,
You're not going to laugh.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes
Totally
sense.
makes sense. So now that we know what you're looking for in a girl, kind of, and that wasn't really meant to be like a gotcha question. It was just, we're kind of establishing that guys have different types, because a lot of girls think there's one type that all guys like. And you've obviously proven by yourself that's not true. So when you do find someone that you like, what are ways that you let a girl know that you like her?
Usually I
And
just
you
ask her
don't-
out on a date.
What a concept!
I know!
Oh my gosh.
If only it was that simple all around.
Yeah. I feel like, personally speaking, Gabe is like the exception to
Yes.
a lot of the guys that I know.
I would agree with that.
Because you're
That
like,
is
oh,
not
Gabe likes
typical.
somebody, he does something about it. Like, it's not this, oh, we're going to talk, or oh, we'll do this, or oh, maybe, or oh.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guessing. It's like, Gabe
So
sees a
then
girl,
let's-
he talks to her, he's like, hey, let's go out.
Yeah.
And then you move on.
But I used to be the other way.
Okay.
Oh, so
So
talk
I think
about that.
I think there's been an evolution over time, and that kind of gets into some of the other questions that you
Yeah,
had too.
okay.
So I don't know if you want it now or
Sure,
later.
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Um,
Was there like a specific event
there
that
was
sparked it? Okay.
there was a specific event.
Okay.
So my buddy Mike, and I mentioned it before we went on air here. I mentioned my buddy Mike. So I think confidence is key.
Mhm.
And you read any like dating advice or whatever, they all say
Yep.
confidence is key, but it kind of has this chicken and the egg problem, because if you're not confident, how are you going to
Uh-huh.
approach girls? And if you don't approach girls, how are you going to get confident, right?
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, I had this thing where I was in these groups at a church that you may or may not have been involved with at one point.
Yes.
So there are these groups of young, single and ready to jingle Christians. And so at this point, I had no confidence, right? And my buddy Mike was in the group. I'd actually met him there, because it's not just, like, I was looking for friends too, right? Not
Right.
just girlfriends. And after the group was over, my friend Mike said, did you know that all the girls in that group were talking about you and like how they wanted to date you? I was like, shut the front door. I was like, what? And he said, yeah. And he starts listing like all these qualities, and like he was all the girls that were saying that they wanted to go on a date with me and all this stuff. And I was like, boom, that was an eye opener. That was a paradigm shift in terms of my confidence. And from then on, it's really been like an upward trajectory of like, now I may be too confident. I may be cocky. You know what I mean? So
Like a very big shift.
yeah. So I kind of go into if there's a girl I'm interested, I assume that she likes me.
I feel like that's
Well,
almost...
I don't think that's cocky. The way you say it is much more confident than most guys will. But it goes back to what we've talked about a lot. Guys don't ask girls out because they don't know if they're going to say yes.
Right.
So when you go into it assuming they're going to, you have no reason not to ask.
Mm-hmm. It's like when we played basketball growing up. My dad always used to say, "You go into the game thinking you're gonna
Yeah.
win. Like you don't go and think, oh my gosh, what's
So
gonna
we're
happen?"
probably going to lose.
No, like
Yeah.
you're gonna go in thinking you're gonna win. And I think that's fine to think that going into that kind of a situation.
Well, I think part of the problem is that guys don't have examples to follow. When I was growing up, all my friends were nerds. I didn't even know anybody that had gone on a date until halfway through college.
Yeah.
So it was one of these things where you're kind of trying to figure out what's the process, what are the best practices.
Yeah.
And if you've not seen anybody do it, you don't know.
Yeah, because you're kind of blazing the trail.
That's
when
true.
it comes to that.
That's a good point. Where's the distinction then when you do like a girl? I guess is the distinction where, I am texting her and calling her, or like leading up to that point when you ask her out?
It's kind of like what you were saying, right? It's you kind of know that if I'm interested in somebody, I'm going to be aggressive and pursue them. So it's kind of like if a certain amount of time passes and I haven't, then maybe that's the answer.
That's the
answer. I mean, because the answer to the first one is I'm going to ask her out, period, the end.
That's true.
And if you've been talking for 6 months or your friends or whatever, and he has not done that,
the assumption is he doesn't like you.
Now, I will say this, and this gets into a question I know you're going to ask later too, is there's a lot of exceptions out there. Like, there's girls that I would be interested in dating, but maybe my window of opportunity kind of passed. Like, I don't see them that much anymore, so it'd be weird if I just reached out of the blue. If one of those girls came to me and said, hey,
Well, let's definitely talk about that window. I want to circle back to the window discussion.
Yes.
Well, but I actually changed my mind on the window, I think.
Okay. Oh,
really?
I think I've changed my mind on the window.
I'm interested to hear.
Okay.
So you mentioned having no idea what to do when you were younger because you didn't have an example or you didn't have someone that you looked up to necessarily. Along that trajectory of improvement, or whatever you want to call it, what was the best dating advice that you ever got?
I wouldn't say that there was a specific piece of advice. It was really the confidence thing.
Okay.
Right? So my buddy Mike really kind of spoke to me in that way, and I think that was kind of the shift. It wasn't one specific piece of advice, and from there it's just been learning and kind of establishing my own process.
Do you feel like when Mike started talking to you about the confidence thing, was it like this switch that went off, or was it a process for you to gain that confidence over time and then get to where you are now? Because we talk a lot about that, how either people are confident or they're not, or maybe you need to build up to it. Like, it looks different for different people. So what did that look like for you?
It was a switch in terms of knowing that girls are interested in me, whereas before I may not have known that. Mm-hmm. But I think getting confidence in the process has been a gradual improvement.
Okay.
So like, how do you ask a girl out on a date? What do you do on a date, etc.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, despite your confidence, then, since we're learning how confident and or cocky you are, I'm kidding. What are some things that confuse you about girls?
There's really one main thing that I thought about with this.
Okay.
And it's kind of petty.
That's fine. We're petty too.
Why do you guys talk so much?
Because it's a podcast, we have to.
No. Not on the podcast.
I'm joking.
It's like, I cannot get off, like, if there's a girl that I'm talking to on the phone, I can't get off the phone for at least 45 minutes.
Oh, definitely
and I'm probably 3 or 4 minutes of that talking time.
So is that because you like to listen, or because you feel like you can't get a word in?
It's really that the girls have so much to say.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a lot to say in terms of number of words. However, the number of actual points that are made are probably equal to yours. They are just made in such greater detail, it takes a lot longer.
Yes, completely agree.
You could say, I like that blue shirt. And I would be saying, I like the blue, but if it were a little bit darker and maybe the sleeves were like just a little bit longer, it would be good. But I really like it, and I think I could do X, Y, Z with it, and it would look good with these pants. And we both like the blue shirt, but there you go.
Yeah. But it's just like it's like, I don't. Can I level with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't need a full recap of the day. Unless there's something eventful that's going on. Not every day, please.
So, okay.
I want to know about the eventful stuff.
Okay. So, like, high points.
High points,
or
low points. Yeah.
Or low points.
Yeah.
So it's average.
But the medium points, not
you'd
so
rather
much.
me just say, like, oh, it's just a normal day.
Yeah, that's what I say. And then I get blasted, and they're like, why'd you talking about your day? I'm like, nothing happened. I was in the office, like, made some calls, sent some emails.
Yeah, that was my day.
And here we are.
And here we are. And they want a full, detailed. I've learned, the more I've dated, most of the guys I've dated have been like that. And so it's like, okay, you know what? If I want to have these conversations, I'm going to go talk to Melanie about it.
Yep.
Or whoever, because we can talk a really long time about like 3 things. And if I talk about those same 3 things with whoever I'm dating, most of the time they're like, oh, that's really great, Kristen. Because then I'm wanting the reaction too. Because if I sit here and tell you all these details, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And I'm like, that's all you have to say? I just talked to you for 30 minutes about my day. You're like, oh, honey, that's great.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not really sure what I'm supposed to say. It's like, all right,
that's fair.
You went to the store, you looked at shirts, you didn't buy any. Like, what is the value? What is the valuable input here?
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe that's a question.
Yeah.
Let me interview you. Oh. What do you want me to say?
Oh gosh,
I'll let Kristen answer this one. I'm not, when it comes to the minutia of things, I'm typically, how's your day? Oh, it's fine. Great. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm more on that side of it, so I don't necessarily need a lot of feedback, but she does.
Yes, I'm very well aware of my conversational habits here. I either, one, if I get really passionate or like upset about something, I want you to mirror that emotion of like, if someone really makes me angry at work, I want you to be like, man, that really sucks. Like, you're right, because blah, 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 blah.
Kristen doesn't want you to fix her problem.
Well,
not immediately.
I have learned a key phrase. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yes. I love when people say that. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate your sympathy.
If there's nothing I can do to help.
And it's the empathy.
Yes, I like empathy.
I care about you, and I'm sorry that you feel bad.
Yes. So there's that. Or I want you to ask me more questions about it. So instead of just being like, oh, how was your day? And then I say like, oh, well, I did this. And like, oh, how did that go?
Because I guarantee you're sitting there going, how much longer is she going to talk?
Yes.
And she's sitting there saying, I have so much more to say. I hope he asks about it.
Do you want me to ask the questions even if I'm not actually interested?
Ooh.
A little bit, yeah.
I was going to say. I mean, early on, yes.
Yeah, early on.
Once you're in an established relationship, you can be like, babe, I don't care how long it took you to send an email to the catty lady in your office. Mm-hmm. But if we've been dating for 6 weeks, you better be interested in what I'm telling you.
Yeah, because my thought is, too, I'm like, there are going to be things early on when we're dating that I probably could care less about, but I like you, so I'm going to ask you questions about them because I know they're important to you.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's no taper, though.
Oh, there is for me.
Yeah, I feel like I've even had where the longer I've been in a relationship with a guy, I'll call and be like, look, I know you probably don't want to hear this. I've had a really crappy day, and I just need you to listen to me vent for a minute. I don't need you to say anything. I don't need you to tell me anything. Just listen. And he'll be like, okay, great, go for it. And then I get all out, and I feel good.
Okay,
and then
we're
fine. No, I do. I feel like there is a tapering, because the longer you're with somebody, the more comfortable you're going to get. The more you're going to know, okay, I know he really does not. He's not the person I need to talk to about this. Yeah. This is why I have girlfriends, to talk about certain things with, because they know how to conversate in that way, and that's just different. But
Mel calls me now, and she said this to Trey, so it's fine. But like, she'll call and she'll be like, Trey doesn't care about this, but I'm really excited about these pillows I bought for the couch, and I need someone who's going to react as excited as I am. So she'll call one of us.
She said the same thing.
Because Trey looks at me, he's like, oh, yeah, they're nice. She's like, but they were $75, pillow covers that I got for $20, and I need you to be more excited about.
Well, that's something that I can get excited about. A bargain, I will get excited about that. Of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's just one of those tricky things that you learn the more
and it's so subjective
you date.
Too.
It is. It's so different for every person.
The communication style of that particular relationship is going to be different than any other previous one, or your friends, or whatever. So
yeah. Well, and do you feel like all the girls you've dated have been that chatty, or do you feel like that's varied from girl to girl?
It might be confirmation bias or something like that.
Okay.
The ones that fit that mold kind of stick out in my mind. So I don't know. Okay. At least in the recent past, it's been that way.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've even got girls that are friends that I can't get off the phone.
You're like, oh my God.
Like, how did I become the point of contact?
It's true. I don't know.
I like talking on the phone if I know it's going to be for a long time.
Yeah.
I typically don't, unless it's you about podcasts.
Sure.
You're like, hey, let me call you really quick. If I'm calling someone, I'm planning to be on the phone for like 20 or 30 minutes. Because I have more things to say. Because in my mind, if it's short, I can just text you about it.
See, I think that's the disconnect. Because to me, a 30-minute block of time, that's kind of hard to come by in some cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even at night, like I got a laundry list of things to do. 30 minutes is a commitment.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. I think.
So I need to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something controversial right now.
No, please. We love controversial
things.
This
got me into trouble in a relationship one time.
Okay.
Could you send me a calendar invite?
phone call?
An Outlook invite. Yeah.
Oh my word.
I would be annoyed.
It could be recurring.
Oh.
I don't know about that. Now, okay,
I would feel like I could only call you in
Yeah.
that block of time.
Yeah, but see, that I can work my schedule around.
Now,
it.
here's my... I don't know if I'm that far over where I'm like sending you, oh, Gabe, can you pencil me in for 7:30 p.m. tonight? But
How romantic.
yeah, but like Melanie and I schedule our phone calls. Like we don't typically just call to talk. It's, hey, we're going to talk because it's going to be an hour and a half phone call.
Well, I was going to say, if you're going to have like a block like that, you better make it 2 hours.
Well, the
instead of 30 minutes.
The Outlook invite might have been a little
I think that's
hyperbolic, but
okay.
Could you say, hey, do you have 30 minutes?
Yes.
Don't phrase it like that.
You totally
don't say,
can.
hey, we need to talk.
Yes.
Don't say
Don't
that.
start it like that. No.
But I know where you're going.
Yeah,
you totally can do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Or if she calls and you're like, I can't talk right now. I've got the laundry list of things to do.
Can you call me
I'm
at
fine
9?
if someone just answers and says, hey, I'm swamped right now. Can I call you at 9:15?
Mm-hmm. Great.
Absolutely.
I think that's totally fine. I prefer that because then I can plan. I'm such a planner that I know.
Yeah.
Like in my last relationship, which we were long distance, but he would tell me, hey, I'll call you at 9 o'clock tonight because I'll be home from work and whatever. Okay, cool.
I would prefer that, if I'm being honest, because then I know, okay, we're going to talk at this time, as opposed to, I'm just going to kind of keep my whole evening free or try to move stuff around because I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I would much prefer someone say, here's what time we're talking.
I feel like that gives you more freedom because then I know I can go make plans. Or if I go have dinner with my family and he calls me in the middle of it and it's the only time he can talk, I'm like, well, crap. Then what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So
I
don't think...
ladies listening, this is part of your process that you're refining over time.
Yes.
Schedule the talks.
Yeah, I don't think... Because they're typically longer with somebody that you're dating, I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't think the girls know going into the phone call how long it's going to take.
Now, that is also true sometimes.
No, I'm just assuming it's going to be long. But I don't know how long, if that's what you're
I
implying.
think my perception has been, I get these calls, and the girl thinks it's going to be 10 minutes.
Real quick.
But it turns into an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm folding laundry in the background. I'm doing all these, cleaning the bathroom.
Which is fine.
But if I can know ahead of time.
Yeah. That'd be fully engaged.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah. So following quickly on the heels of that, and it can't be the same thing. So the first one was confusing. The second was, what do you wish girls would quit doing? And you can't say talking.
Well, it's not the same, but it's related.
Okay.
Being a needy texter.
So define, go deeper in that. What does a needy texter look like?
Okay. So if you're texting me in the middle of the day when I'm busy at work, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
If you're expecting a quick answer back, that's fine if it's just an easy question. But it can't be like a back and forth text conversation for an hour in the middle of the day. Or if it is, you can't be mad if I don't reply to one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and leave it until the evening.
That's fair, I feel like.
Yeah. So the girl who texts and then 30 minutes later, hey, did you get it? Or that kind of thing?
Yeah, if there's an expectation on a response time, that's got to go.
Forget it.
Yeah. I feel like that progresses. Let me rephrase that. I think it should progress. Where Melanie and I talk about all the time. When we were in high school and you had your high school boyfriend, you texted all day, every day. In class, between classes, before practice, after practice, on the weekend, till you got your phone taken away
that's
at
all
night.
you could do.
Because, that was it. And, you had your little one date on the weekends because that's when your parents let you go or whatever. But as you become an adult and you have a job and you have all these other things, you can still text, but the immediacy of the response, the constant pace of it is going to look different because of the stage you are in life. So I think that's a perfectly reasonable expectation to have.
I feel like if you're dating someone around your age, so someone in her 30s, if she's doing that is a window into a whole host of other issues. I'm just going to put it out there, and I think...
Completely agree, by the way.
Run is all I'm going to say. So girls, if you're doing that, quit it.
Well, and I think it's fair, too, for you to say initially, hey, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's not that I don't, value our conversation. But I'm at work, so if I don't respond... quickly. Don't take it personally. That's why I'll text you when I can. And then if the neediness, again, communication. But if the neediness continues, okay, that's just you being high maintenance, to put it frankly. But
well, it puts me in a situation where I see the text come in and I say, do I respond to this and risk a now 30-minute
Back and forth.
unallocated time,
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
of texting, or do I not let her know that I saw it
Mm-hmm.
and let it wait for later? But then you can only do that so many times before
Yeah.
she gets mad. So
Well, that's true. I think we've talked about this before where typically when I'm first getting to know a guy or first starting to date a guy, I'll bring this up as we're talking. Like, okay, are you consistent? Do you like texting throughout the day? Do you not? Would you rather just talk on the phone? And go ahead and set an expectation of what their typical communication style is so that if they're completely different, you're not getting your feelings hurt or getting disappointed because you're used to communicating completely differently. So if I start dating Gabe and I'm texting him in the middle of the day,
You're going to already know.
I'm going to already know, hey, I know he's not going to respond to this.
Right.
So I'm just going to wait till he gets off work or whatever. But so if you're worried about that, or if you know you're a very frequent texter, have that conversation at the beginning and then you set yourself up better in the long run.
Totally agree.
I think.
great job.
Thank you. All right. So Gabe, what would you say, shifting gears a little bit, what is the hardest thing about dating as a Christian guy? So obviously dating in and of itself is just complicated
Yeah.
a lot of times. Or maybe we overcomplicate it. I don't know. One of the two. But when you bring your faith into it and you trying to walk with the Lord and date well, what's the hardest part about that to you?
Well, physical boundaries, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think the other one is you've got a more limited pool
Mm.
of potential people to choose from, right? Because if you're going to date another Christian, that's X% of the population that is now out the window.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. I hadn't thought
Always
about that.
practical.
Yes.
And sometimes you're in a situation where you have to go down the path and you're like, I have no idea.
Right.
And it would be weird to be like, so tell me about your recent church experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that you have been to this church in the past. When was the last time you were at this
Yeah.
church?
Okay, no, so that's a good... I have a random follow-up question.
Okay.
So when you are in that situation, I feel like we've had listeners ask this where you're trying to figure out maybe where they are with their faith. You're not totally sure. When do you start to bring that up? Where you're not like creepy first date, like, hey, tell me your story of like, when did you get saved and all this, but also trying to figure that out fairly quickly so you're not, 3 months in and then you realize, oh, this probably wasn't a good idea.
No, I'm really bad at that.
Okay.
I'll be the guy that's 3 months in.
So you wait a while then to like bring it up.
Well, I'm usually collecting data passively.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be weird to kind of, because it's like, is this an interview? I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
No, she probably told him 4 times on the phone. He just wasn't listening.
that's true. Probably had her on mute while he's folding laundry. No, just kidding. So wait, hold on. When you say you're collecting data passively, like what does that mean?
So sometimes, here's one that you can work into conversation, fellows that are listening. So, did you go to church this morning?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Figure out where they went to church.
If the answer is no, like 3 weeks in a row, maybe that's a sign.
Do you ever ask them like what the sermon was about?
Well, sure. If they said, yeah, they went to church, then yeah.
Okay.
You learned a lot from that answer.
Yes, of how
A
they
lot.
like articulate it and all of that.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say about this question. Bethany, go for it.
Confidence is important to you from your side of things. So what do guys think? What do you think when girls make the first move? Do you give them time to?
Personally, I love it. I
Okay,
do.
this has been
This is the trend.
the trending answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think confidence is attractive on both sides, right? So the girls that have asked me on dates, and it's not been a lot because I think there is kind of an expectation that the guy does it, but I'll give you a favorable response most likely.
Okay.
I mean, assuming you meet some of the check boxes.
Yes. Yeah.
There are girls out there now that I kind of mentioned this before that if they, let's say theoretically asked me out on a date, I would probably say yes. But I think there are rules, and the rules are the same for girls and guys.
Okay.
So there's a process. Step 1, you have to ask a specific time and place.
Agreed.
Totally.
I have to know what I'm committing to.
Yeah.
Step 2, you get one mulligan.
So you can bail on it and reschedule
So if
once?
Yeah, so let's say you were asking me on a date, and I say, I've got something going on that time, I can't do it then.
Oh.
You can ask one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, if I give you a
Another
shifty
excuse.
response, I'm trying to stay friends
Yeah.
and save face.
Okay.
And number 3, if I defer again, then it's on me to ask you.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. If someone says, "Oh, I can't, I have blah, blah, blah," but then doesn't say, "But what about," then I'm going to probably be like, probably not interested if
Yeah.
they didn't offer an alternative.
Yeah.
I think if you do this, you don't appear desperate and everybody saves face
Yeah.
in a relationship.
I think so.
Yeah,
I like those steps.
really helpful because I feel like this fear of rejection gets so overblown. It's not that big of a deal, I don't feel like. It's a first date. You're not committing to anything. You're just going to get dinner or whatever.
Ooh, I actually have a thought on that.
Oh, okay.
Dinner,
Not on the first date?
it can be,
Okay.
but there's another rule.
Oh, okay. Oh, so many rules you have,
You do a
Gabe.
coffee for the first.
Like I said, there's a process. Yes.
Yes, that's what I always
Have you
say.
talked about this in the podcast?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
say
talk
just
about
get
all the
coffee.
time.
If you
don't
don't-
commit to dinner
If
until
you don't know them,
Yep,
it's coffee
Mhm.
always.
or lunch
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that should be
lunch.
fine.
Lunch is quick.
because it's quick.
Right.
If you already know them, then it's a second date. Then it's event and dinner,
Yeah,
or dinner then event.
Okay.
I think that's good.
I feel like coffee at the most, or at the least, it's like a 45-minute to an hour commitment. Wouldn't you say, as a guy? So
Yes.
let me ask you this then. If we go to coffee and I'm not having a good time, what's the reasonable amount for me to let time pass and then say I need to go?
45 to an hour.
45 to an hour? Okay. That's always kind of been my rule.
I feel like if you anything less than 45 minutes, it's just rude.
Yeah. Especially
I
because he
think.
most likely bought your coffee. So I feel
Right.
like at that point you at least need to be like, okay, I'll sit here and talk to you for that long.
Yeah.
Do you have an escape plan when you go into a date? Is that a girl thing?
No.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
an escape plan. I'll stick it out no matter what. It can be really bad. And I'm trying to be on the level with everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay. Okay.
That's kind.
That is kind of... I have an escape plan.
I normally do.
Yeah.
If I don't know them.
Yeah. Okay, Gabe, so we know this isn't a problem for you, obviously, after we've had this conversation. I didn't really expect this to be a problem with you before we had this conversation, but this is something that a lot of our listeners ask us about. How do we encourage guys not to be fearful to just ask a girl out on a date?
Well,
or what would you say to them?
Yeah.
we
Too.
talked about confidence. Confidence
Yes.
is key.
Right.
Now, that builds over time. We talked about that. I think there are certain signs in an individual situation that let you know she's interested.
Okay.
Number one, if you're in conversation and she's laughing at your jokes, and here's the key, she's touching your arm. It is on. It's on, guys.
That's Bethany's signature
touch
move.
his
Touch
arm.
the
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
But if you don't know to look for it,
Yeah.
True.
It's
You don't-
true. You don't know.
you could totally miss it. You think it's just a personal
Friendly little
communication.
thing. Yeah.
If she's going out of her way to make conversation with you, I think that's a sign too. Like she's talking to a group and she comes over. We're just
Yeah.
adding data points here.
Yeah.
If in the course of conversation, or maybe over a text conversation, she's recalling specific details about you from previous conversations, it means she's been thinking about you.
I love
Yeah.
he's saying all the things
He's
we're like, okay,
reiterating.
girls, here's what you do.
Yeah.
Like you've literally listed all the things we say. So
Well,
it's
I don't know if you said, I don't listen.
The
Okay.
truth comes out.
I've listened to a few episodes of your podcast. I haven't heard this, so I mean, this is independent verification.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there
very
you go.
helpful.
If she's inviting you via text or maybe even over the phone to group activities or asking if you'll be there,
That's a hint.
Yep.
that's a hint.
Yeah.
That's a
time.
big hint.
That's a
she's
wink
she's
in the right-
giving you the opening
Yeah.
to pursue further. So
Yes.
those are some of the ones I look for.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not an exhaustive list. You guys might be able to add more.
I think we said the same thing when we were interviewing Brett, but this is the golden question. This is the one everybody wants to know. We get this question at least on a weekly basis,
At least.
if not more than once. And that is, are you ever just friends with a girl without wanting to date her?
Yes. Unequivocally.
Okay.
Unequivocally, yes. So if she doesn't check my boxes, like I'm not gonna be mean to her. Like I
Right.
still want to be friends. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it needs to go beyond that. Yes.
Okay.
What other answers have you gotten?
No.
You've got no.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Brett's point was either if it's like a long time, either childhood or just a really long spanning friendship, then yes. Or if like he has friends that are girls that he met through his girlfriend. But he's like, I don't
Yeah, that's
text
kind of-
them. Like I don't have the same like closeness of a friendship that I have with my guy friends.
Well,
Like there's a difference.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he talked about, he's like, he said for him at least that he grew up playing basketball. He's like, me and my buddies, we talked about basketball and we talked about girls. So if I have a friend that's a girl, if you're not bringing as much value to those conversations as my guy friends are, I'm not going to have as close of a friendship with you, because what are you going to bring to the table that I'm not already getting from these friendships I already have?
Yeah.
Was kind of his.
That's kind of a great point too.
Is it different when you're dating somebody and when you're not? Like, do you interact as much with your friends that are girls when you have a girlfriend as opposed to when you're single?
Yeah, I don't think there's a difference
Okay.
between when you're dating somebody and not. I think the nuance is in how the question is asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they as close of friends as my guy friends or as a girlfriend? No.
Okay.
But are they friends? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So we've had several more serious questions in a row. So let's just go with a super easy, fun one. What are some date ideas that you would recommend, that you would enjoy, especially for like sporty or athletic or active guys? Because sometimes when we go to plan a date, it's harder. We're like, I don't know what he wants to do. So...
Oh, this is for if the girl is planning.
Yeah.
Oh.
This was a question we got
From a listener.
Yeah, we had someone ask about like dates that guys would enjoy, and then someone threw in that
Oh.
especially.
Ooh, well, that kind of changes my answer a little bit.
Okay.
For the guys that are listening, if you want a girl to fall in love with you in the winter, you take her ice skating.
Oh, that's so true.
That would be so, yeah. I would be done for.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That is like
Yeah.
immediate license to hold hands and like quote unquote suck
I
at
don't
ice
know how to
skating.
skate.
That's my go-to winter date. Winter first or second date, again, depending on how well you know them beforehand.
Yeah. So then for the girls listening, if a guy takes you ice skating, act like you don't know how to very well.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's a given.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, usually I'll send them a GIF beforehand of, somebody failing at ice skating and being like, "That's me."
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I've been on 6 ice skating first dates that winter.
Wow, Dave, you're really...
No, actually, the funny thing
This is
about
your
ice
go-to.
skating is it's not like riding a bike at all. I forget every time.
That is true. You really have to
You have
adjust.
to get used to it again.
But just don't adjust as quickly as you could if you
Exactly.
went with a group of friends. You need a little more help with your balance when you're on an ice skating date.
Although I once dated a girl who had previously been a competitive figure skater.
Oh.
Didn't take her on the ice skating first date.
Probably a good plan.
Well, I didn't know before that.
Oh.
Had I known, well, then I really wouldn't have.
Yeah. You accidentally didn't.
Yeah, accidentally did.
That worked out
Actually, that was one that she asked me out. So
Oh, okay.
just a coffee, but
There you go. Okay. So then, if the girl's planning the date, what are some things that you would be like, oh yeah, that would be fun if she asked me to go do this?
it could really be anything. Girls plan dates so rarely that I don't know that I can't answer this question from experience.
Okay.
But it could be a hike. It could really almost be anything.
Would you rather?
I would just be so impressed that the girl is asking me to do a specific activity. It would almost not matter what it is.
Okay.
You just like that she made the effort to
No, if
plan
it's-
something and ask you to go with her.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if it's coffee, that one doesn't take
Well,
very
right,
much.
sure.
But you,
something
But
that
I would
took
still be
the plan.
impressed.
Right.
If she asked me to coffee, I'd
Yeah.
still be impressed.
But you like to go do something, though, is what you're saying. You'd rather it be something where it's like an activity.
Well, again, I guess this is more of a second date. Or if it's
and
if
this
it's
is
somebody
even-
I know well beforehand, then yeah.
And I don't think this is necessarily limited to early dates. Let's say you've been dating for 3 or 4 months. What would you... She's like, hey, let's go do this. Or I planned for us to go do this. What would you... what's something that would be really fun that you would like to do?
I only think of it from my perspective. Like, what am I... And this is a secret. This can only be Patreon. I've got a list because I put a lot of thought into planning dates. So...
Wow.
So, like, if I can take a little bit of the stress off by having a list of things that I can run down and, like, eliminate some things and be like, then, the list helps.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, it's fingerprint protected on my phone. Nobody's busting into that list, but...
I really want to see this list.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
so...
you have to know the city you live in.
Yeah.
This is like the...
You can sell this.
This is like the
Seriously.
Coca-Cola recipe. You can't have my list. I mean, I'll give you a few excerpts from the list.
Yeah.
All right, here's
Okay, yeah, give some
a great...
excerpts.
This is for the guys. This is for the 40%.
Okay.
If it's the summertime, you've got one go-to. This is a great one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to judge based on your 2 reactions.
Oh, God, I'm nervous.
I know.
Flying a kite.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that. Why? Okay, give me, like, your reasoning.
You just
behind
really
that.
like Mary Poppins?
That's an umbrella.
Let's go fly a kite. It's the song.
She sings "Let's Go Fly a Kite," but she actually flies on an umbrella?
Well, yeah.
Was that Mary Poppins or?
It's Mary Poppins.
I've never seen that movie.
What?
I know.
Oh my word.
Isn't that
You're not
terrible?
missing much.
That's I've never
It's
been
a
like,
classic.
oh, yeah.
Lindsay's got me listening. Well, she has to eat the octopus first. But...
Yeah. Oh my gosh! If you get her to eat octopus, please video it. I feel like I'm getting like top secret information.
Well,
We kind of are, aren't we?
yeah. All right, you can't.
Have you ever?
Turn the recording off. I'll get, this can't go on the record. This
We're
is
not going to turn
this
it
is,
off.
This is my list.
You,
All right, all right,
you
all right.
agreed.
You're fine.
You agreed to
I'm not-
be
I'm
on.
not-
Have you ever taken a girl pocket square shopping before?
If she bought me a pocket square, I'd be impressed.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
Y'all, obviously, you can't see this. Gabe is very, very fashion conscious, fashion forward. Forward. Is that your preferred word? He wears some of the most interesting clothing. He's pretty calm today. Like, you're in neutrals.
Yeah.
He has, like, salmon-colored pants. But he wears a pocket square to church pretty much every day.
With fashion, you have to take risks.
Oh, well, you definitely do that.
We
Definitely.
won't get into
Yeah, we won't get into
all the
details, but
risks.
he's very fashion forward, so hence the pocket square comment. Okay.
Okay, well, this one's mini golf.
Always a good choice.
Yes, you have to. Yes.
Always
That's
good
like a
choice.
staple, I think.
Like,
I think so.
yes.
All the way back to the 80s.
Yeah, I was
70s.
dating a guy once who was like, I don't think you're officially dating until you've gone to play
Yeah.
mini golf.
It's
Like,
very
it's not
true.
official
It's
yet.
like a rite of
Yeah.
passage.
So when I first started out, that was like my only idea. That was like the original.
That's the original
I
list.
know, I've seen it in a TV show or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bowling, but those are obvious.
Dang, Gabe.
Yeah.
You put a lot of thought into this. Okay, so you mentioned earlier being a needy texter. We talked about this already. So how should a girl message or text a guy without coming off as desperate, clingy, needy? Obviously, those are things we never want to be
No.
called. But if we want to text you, like, where's the line?
I think you get 2 to 3 messages max before your message count is up. And then it's the guy's turn to respond.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want you filling up a whole page. And matter of fact, I think maybe a good rule of thumb, it depends on the font size on your phone. But if you're on a normal iPhone and you've got the smallest font size, which probably most of your listeners are on the smaller font setting, you get probably a third, at most a half of an iPhone screen.
I think that's fair.
I think so.
Yeah.
So,
So you don't want long messages or
well,
multiple
it's a sign.
ones?
There's exceptions to the rule, obviously.
Okay.
But, if you're telling a story, fill that thing up, girl.
he'd much rather you do that than call him.
Yeah, that's
That's
true. Would you rather have long texting
But
conversations than talk
but-
on the phone? Or no?
Oh, it totally depends. Now, if you're joking around, the long text conversation, that's fine.
Okay.
But if it's
Yeah.
like serious stuff, then no.
You'd
Yeah.
rather talk on the phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
And then the other thing, I've had girls that will talk about like bad past relationships over text, and like
Oh, brother.
guys need to stop doing X, guys need to stop doing Y, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
okay.
Don't use texting as an out for having to, or talking about something serious in person.
yes, yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
rule.
What's the takeaway?
So, staying in the texting vein, what is the best way to start a conversation with a guy? And this was a listener question, so I'm going to kind of infer what they mean. I'm taking it to mean, okay, I have a crush on this guy. I want to talk to him. I'm trying to, like, start conversation. What is the best way to do that without it seeming too random, but also not like, hey, buddy?
Well, this kind of gets in the window theory that we were talking about.
We
earlier.
do need to talk
Yeah,
about the
we
window
need to talk
still.
about the
Yes.
window.
So, okay, so
Explain your original window theory.
the original window theory was I really thought that there was a certain period of time, it could be a month, it could be a year, that if you didn't act within that window of time, your time was up.
Okay.
Like you missed your window kind of thing. And
Okay.
even if you asked, she would say no. I think I was wrong.
So what changed you on that?
Yeah.
I think I was overweighting like maybe 1 or 2 data points that I was misreading
Okay.
and not looking at the totality
Okay.
of my experiences. I do think that things will work out better if you have a valid reason to approach, right? So something that you did together recently, oh, hey, great seeing you at XYZ, would you want to do ABC? Or maybe refer to something that you that you did together.
Yeah. So here, can I just give an example and you say, oh, yes, that would be an effective way of doing that, or not?
Yes.
So what I normally go to with that is I will either come across something or find something if it's a desperate time that I'm like, oh, he would like this. He would think this is funny. He would whatever.
Yes.
And then I send whatever it is and I say, I thought of you when I saw this.
Yeah.
Because then it says, I kind of know you. 2, you were on my mind. And now we can laugh about whatever this thing is.
Yes.
Does that do that? Okay.
Perfect. Okay. But even better if I think, well, that's perfect. But another way is if you saw him at an event recently, you had a conversation. Hey, great seeing you here.
Okay.
Remember when we talked about this one thing?
Yeah.
Here's something related to that. And then now the line of communication is open.
Okay.
Now you could reach out of the blue. Like I said, I mean, there's girls out there in my universe that if they reached out to me out of the blue, like I would still give them a favorable, response. Like I would go out with them, whatever. But it's obviously easier.
Yeah.
You're taking less of a risk if you have the valid reason to reach out.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, last question. If you could tell the girls listening 1 or 2 things, so advice about dating, relationships, singleness, just anything, what would you tell them?
All of these are for guys.
Oh, we'll do both.
My advice to the girls would be what we talked about earlier. Ask them out.
Okay.
Yeah, be aggressive.
Okay.
And also one more thing. One more for the ladies.
Okay.
If it's been, let's say, 3 dates.
Okay.
And you haven't at least offered to pay for your half, that's a big rip. I've gone months before.
Really?
And
Wow.
Yeah.
I always offer on the 3rd date. That's just my
That's your
standard. I always say, hey, I can grab mine. Or I say, hey, just so you know, depending on how it's going, like if we're really hitting it off and we're obviously going to continue on in this process, I'll say, just so you know, I don't expect for you to always pay for stuff. Like, it is fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And just offer.
I always, 3rd date, I always offer.
Do you let her or do you still pay? You just want her to offer?
I've never had a guy.
I'll do both. Yeah. A lot of time, I don't know. I kind of feel like as things progress, like especially if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, like then it's like I almost have an expectation that it doesn't have to be 50-50.
Right.
But maybe like proportionate to, I mean, I've been in situations where like I know I make a lot more than the person I'm dating, so if she would offer 1 out of 4 times, 1 out of 5 times, then that would be cool.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're talking about this. We were talking about this not long ago. Just this whole subject of guys pay for what and girls pay for what. So here's always been my theory and kind of how I've operated. I would love to hear a guy's perspective. If we're dating and we're going on a date, even after you've been dating for a while, and we're like going on a date, I'll normally let him pay. If we're in a group of 10 people who are going to the Braves game or wherever, I'm going to pay for my stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a group of friends going out.
For sure.
But if it's like, oh, hey, I want to take you to dinner. Or, oh, hey, let's go do this. Mm-hmm. I may offer, but most of the time, like, he pays. Is that fair? Yeah. What is your thought on that?
I would say every few times.
Yeah.
It can be the expectation that he pays, maybe, in some relationships. But every few times, don't offer to pay. Just do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think that shows buy-in, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're committed to it as well.
Yeah.
I think that.
The way I typically do it is I'll talk about it ahead of time. So be like, hey, you've been paying for it. Can I do this for you? So, like, the last guy I dated, I was like, hey, we're going to the Braves game. You're coming here. Please let me buy your Braves ticket.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to do this for you. And he's like, okay, great.
But sometimes, even if you do, like, it's almost like, are you testing me? Are you seeing if I'll say it?
I was so, like, I'm like, I'm not trying to just say it for the sake of it. Like, I really want to do this for you. And he was like, okay, I'll let you do it.
And here's another thing. If you're asking him to hang out with your friends, like if it's dinner, you better be paying. Like, I'm not paying to hang out with your friends. Like,
the truth comes out.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like way down the road if they're now our friends, maybe. Okay. But like, yeah, if it's like a group, I mean, already if it's a group dinner. But like, if you're like, oh, hey, my friend has a birthday, would you want to come? Oh, sure, I'd love to come. But you better pay.
So then, okay, here's another question in that line of conversation. If a girl asks you out first, are you expecting her to pay?
Not necessarily. Okay. No, actually, no. Like, I know in the few times that's happened, I've still paid on a first date.
Okay.
But, I mean, if she does, then I think even like even after you're in a relationship, like maybe she plans and pays.
Okay. I think that's fair. If I'm planning and I'm like, ooh, I want us to go do this.
Yeah.
then I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, and I think I do like to offer. My encouragement to girls would be, like you said, don't offer and not be genuine. Like, if you offer and he says, oh, that'd be great, don't get mad because you offered.
You
like,
jerk.
yeah, like, I was testing you. No, like, if you're going to offer, be willing to actually do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's
do it.
respectful. But
Just do it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's your
challenge?
advice?
Because here's, on the flip side, it's not like I'm going to be, oh, Bethany, let me pay for this.
Yeah,
That's weird.
True.
No, I just put the card down.
Be like, I got it.
True.
Okay. All right, so then what's your advice for guys?
Oh,
you got like a laundry list here?
Well, we already talked about, if you don't know, the first date is coffee or lunch. If you do know them well, it's a dinner and an event.
Can you give a few examples of what you mean by event?
Oh, just, something that's not a meal. Could be the geocaching, could be riding bikes, could be a hike or a walk.
Okay.
Just anything that's not the meal itself.
Okay.
I'm not big on movies. You guys know this.
Yes.
Mhm.
I never go on a first date to a
Movies
movie.
are terrible.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
can't
go
talk.
on any dates to movies.
Well, that's
At
true.
all.
You're an exception to the rule.
Do you just not like movies, or you
No, I
just
love
don't?
movies.
You just
but
don't like
I
them
just-
on dates.
What's the point? Like, you can't talk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if it was like a real thoughtful movie that you were going to talk about afterwards, then maybe. But
Okay.
I mean, I've done it before. Don't get me wrong.
But it's
but
just
I
not.
just don't-
It's not on
yeah.
your list.
It's a little too easy too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is.
That's fair.
It doesn't show that you put thought into it.
That's a good point. Okay. You got anything else?
So one thing I've noticed is that girls, in some cases, like to be picked up, even on a first date, and you drive there.
Mm-hmm.
In other cases, they're not sure, and that's creepy. So the phrase that I usually use is, "Can I pick you up, or would you rather meet there?"
I
love
love that. Because I wouldn't feel pressured to be like, oh, I should let him come pick me up.
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
know the guy, I would love for him to come pick me up. If I don't really know
I don't
you,
want you
I'm
knowing
like,
where I live.
no, I'm gonna meet you there. So I love that one.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
It's a good one.
So here's another one, and this you could file under the things I don't understand about girls.
Okay.
The car door.
Mm.
That's a magic bullet. Like, that works real. Like, I think it's the goofiest thing. I don't understand why you guys like the car door, but it works really well. Like,
It
girls
does.
are really impressed with the car door. So for the 40% of guys listening to your podcast, do the car door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a opening the car door to let me get in rather than
Oh, no.
me waiting.
Oh, I can't. Yeah.
No,
I'm
I
like,
would not
I can get out of the car
Yes.
myself, but like when we're walking back from the restaurant to the car and you walk over and open the door for me, yes, that gets me every time.
Yeah, I do it because it
Yeah.
works well, but
Yes.
I don't know why.
I don't know why
well.
it works either.
And frankly, I think if someone were to open a car door for me, it would be harder to get in with somebody else because you kind of hold on to the door as you're like scooting in, and
You just get used to it. You kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah.
so I don't know why you guys like it.
I don't either.
Why you girls like it, but
Yeah. Oh,
But
I
we
think
do.
it's just one of those reminders that, oh my gosh, chivalry isn't dead.
It shows thought.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's thinking about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
He
takes
cares enough to do this.
Yes.
it takes a little practice to get in the cadence because
Yeah.
sometimes you'll forget,
Mm-hmm.
and you got all this stuff going through your head,
Yeah.
and you're like, you just go straight for, and you're like, I should have done it. Should have done it. Here's another one.
Okay. So many
This-
golden nuggets.
This
Gabe.
one, I
love
guess, could be
this.
for girls or guys.
Okay.
Remember something from the first date and incorporate it into the second.
Ooh.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll ask,
Okay.
like, oh, what's your favorite food? And then that's the restaurant we go to. Or talk about music, like what kind of music, and then I'll have the playlist together for the second date.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
Gabe's
that.
smooth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Keeping up with
Or
the
even like a
details.
small gift. Not like, that sounds weird. I'm not a gift, like,
Yeah.
nothing, not like a necklace, nothing weird or old
Right.
school like that. That's
Yes.
weird. But like, maybe like a snack that she likes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like she's like, oh, I always go to Starbucks and get the venti whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. You have that?
Oh.
You have that waiting for. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he shows up at my door and has my Starbucks,
You're like,
That's
marry
all-
me now.
yeah, I'm good. We can just take a lap, like drive around the block while I drink this, and that's fine. No, that's good. I like that. Any others?
The last one. This is
Okay.
again for the guy. Well, I guess for girls too, but I don't know that guys really care that much.
Okay.
And maybe you've covered this in previous
Okay.
episodes, but you'll get a much more, she'll be very impressed if you call to ask her out on the first date rather than a text.
Oh, hands down.
Yes.
Have you talked about this before?
I don't know if we
I don't
have.
know if we have about that specific thing. We've talked about don't break up over text.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know about first date.
I don't think we ever have, actually.
She'll be talking to her girlfriends.
Oh,
He
yes.
called me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think it's just so common in the days of apps that's kind of how you do it, that a call kind of stands out. So
I completely agree. I think that's a bold move. I would be very impressed.
I would too.
Especially if we'd just been like texting or whatever and he calls and said, hey,
yeah,
can I take you to XYZ? I'd be like, absolutely can. That'd be great.
Just let me know when.
Yes.
you kind of have to have a little bit of a preamble, though. Oh, how was your day?
Yes.
If you can remember something from the last time you talked. Oh, did you have a good time at blah, blah, blah?
Mm-hmm. I was just
See, you're setting yourself up for these phone conversations.
Yeah, you really are.
You call and
how was
ask
your
those
day?
questions,
Yeah, that's a good point.
and you remember things. She's
Yeah.
going,
Oh
my
gosh.
word.
He loves talking.
wants
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Exactly. Oh
Yep.
my gosh. No, that's all so good.
Yes.
Wow, Gabe.
That's all I have.
This has been great.
You got the whole... those are the secrets.
the whole- all the
secrets.
That's years of research.
It's your entire playbook.
I
all
won't show you
wrapped
the 3 notebooks I have of notes from all the dates I've been. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
all of a sudden it went into
yeah,
the zone.
yeah, exactly. And we're kidding.
and
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for part 2 of the Men Tell All. Next week, we'll be wrapping up with Matt.
Wrapping up.
Did I say that?
So that wraps up part 2.
Oh, yeah. We'll wrap up wrapping up. We'll wrap up the series next week with our interview with Matt.
And that's our season finale.
And that's the season finale.
Wrap it up like a little Christmas gift.
Oh, look at you.
Ba-dum-tsh. So perfect. Okay, we'll be back on Friday with another couch cast. But until then, I'm Kristen,
And I'm Bethany.
and this is Looking for the Middle.